always wanted to work with Big, and I never got a chance to play.
You know, if there's one thing we love over here on this channel, it's AI singer-songwriters.
What's up, YouTubers? Kanye AI account puts you on, and today we are talking about Kanye using AI and how AI is possibly destructive for music and the path that we're gonna take to get there. I don't know. We're gonna see what it's looking like. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. If you like the content, make sure you leave a like and subscribe and comment down what you think below. But let's get into it. So first of all, you may or may not have seen Kanye has released a new music video for a song that actually doesn't sound terrible. And I know it's a surprise given Kanye has released Vultures 1 and Vultures 2, and is set to release Vultures 3. But this song that he released is for his new project Bully, and it's kind of a soulful, chopped up kind of beat, which is prime Kanye. Like, that's what you want from a Kanye record, bro, is you want chopped up Kanye. And I didn't think we was gonna get that again. I thought we was done. I thought Kanye was cool. I honestly thought Kanye was washed and he was gonna retire. But no, he dropped this new track, and the music video for it looks really, really odd. I think it kind of looks off-putting when you first look at it, and then you start to realize, like, oh, this is 100% AI. Like, without a doubt, the whole video, there's not one part of this that is not just AI. You can see faces change. You can kind of see, like, AI kind of has this warped perspective of reality, or whatever you try to give it, it just looks unsettling. And a lot of current AI videos, which maybe that'll get better. I think there's a few companies still working on AI videos where it doesn't look off-putting. But for now, it looks crazy. And it kind of has this, like, storyline of this woman getting dolled up and, like, still being upset about it, like, crying. I don't even fully understand what the video was trying to get across. But a lot of people were saying, like, oh, Kanye's using AI again. Here he goes again. And that's because he released another video a few months ago with Miles and his daughter Northwest. Another AI video. And Kanye kind of has this trend of using AI, especially in videos. There's been accusations that he's used it in a couple songs, a couple verses on, like, Sky City. And there has been some leaks where it definitely sounds like Kanye is using AI. Now, I won't say 100% whether he is or isn't. It's kind of hard to tell given his kind of inconsistency with his verses. So for me personally, it's like, I don't know if Kanye's using AI or if it is just him sucking still. Like, I don't know what the vibe is. I don't know. Kanye hasn't been the same since, like, Life of Pablo. Like, we haven't really gotten crazy verses from Kanye since then. But I think Kanye using AI is kind of shining a light on an already problematic issue, and that is AI within the industry. But I think it's interesting to see kind of the prevalence and, like, it slowly coming back to the conversation, given someone on Kanye's scale using AI. Like, that is insane. Another rapper, a producer who I thought was crazy for using AI was Timbaland.
Artists are all in lockstep that they don't like the idea of using AI because ultimately it could displace them.
Not on the line because I feel like it is a solution. I'm still working on it because I understand both parties. But, you know, as a creator, I know what it makes me feel. I know what it brings out of me. And I started looking at it like, it has to be a system to this AI thing because it's not going nowhere. So I kind of looked at it as like Instagram. You got to be verified.
But he's been a heavy proponent of AI within music. This man put a Biggie verse on one of his beats. He put a Biggie verse. I'm talking Notorious B.I.G., the man who is deceased, on a beat that he produced.
I got to share something I've been working on because I always wanted to do this, and I never got a chance to. I always wanted to work with Big, and I never got a chance to. Until today, it came out right. Play.
And he smiled about it. And he was talking about, I always wanted to work with Big. Okay, but you didn't. Like, we gotta let that go, bro. Like, you always want to work with Big, and now you're working with a computer? Like, what are we talking about? Like, what is happening here? He isn't just doing that, though, but he's also, like, promoting a lot of AI softwares where, like, it's obviously taking work from people. And that's kind of how AI works, is it's a trained algorithm. So it learns from whatever information you feed it. So, for example, Timbaland kind of previewed a few tracks where he used this like software, I think Suno or something like that.
You heard me say I want a female singer on this track. You went to Suno. Okay, let's hear it.
The AI can only spit out what you put in. So it's gonna jumble up. If I give you Maroon 5, Rihanna, and Beyonce, it's gonna give you a culmination of all those things. So when you ask the AI, hey, give me a hook, sing me a hook for this song, it's gonna give you Beyonce, Rihanna, Maroon 5, and give you 5 examples and be like, pick which one you like. Based on whichever one you pick, you gotta train the algorithm to tailor itself to more what you like. So it's kind of this thing that is, it's like a person, it is learning, but it's only learning based off what these massive rich companies are feeding it. You kind of see that happening more. There were a few examples. About a year ago, there was a person on TikTok who was he went by Ghost or something like that, and he was just pumping out AI tracks, and he was like, this is so-and-so AI, like this is Travis Scott AI, this is Kanye West AI. And people were eating it up, bro. People were eating it up. And I've seen a lot of renditions of like remixes of people using AI, remixing Adele to have Frank Ocean singing on it.
So that's the Travis Scott AI. This is going to be Kanye West AI.
There's kind of this weird, unsettling feeling of like, it sounds like them, but like you can tell it's not. And even if you couldn't, it's still kind of weird to me. It's still a little odd. So to hear Timbaland and Kanye using AI in this way just doesn't feel right. It feels so inauthentic. It feels like a huge lack of artistry. Like you're not putting in any work. You're not putting in any time. You're literally just pumping this out. I think that's just kind of what technology tends to do. However, I don't think we've really seen technology take over in this way. Normally, when we see the evolution of technology, we've seen like the MPC, or you see like virtual instruments, things like that. Like you see FL Studio will have electronic drums and electronic guitars. That's kind of where we've seen technology thus far, which you still have to be creative in terms of using, like you have to make your own melodies or make your own drum patterns, or somebody, maybe you can sample a loop and then you got to rework the sample and things like that, or rework the loop. So there has been a lot of things that have made processes of making music a lot easier. However, AI lacks all of that, because instead of you making the beat, it is now the AI. Like you can literally tell AI to like there's some softwares where you can tell it to, give me an 80s Japanese pop song.
So what you do with this is you can type in, let's say 80s, just type in a keyword and then hit enter. 80s arm, here it is. So this is loop number 1, pretty good.
Give me something like that, and it will literally construct the entire thing. So it's fully removing the artist, which adds another layer of like kind of the issue with AI. There's like a trickle-down effect of, if you're feeding it this information, on the surface it's like, okay, it's weird, it's using this artist's likeness and giving us the sound. However, there's so many people that like make their living off of making this music. I mean, there's people in Maroon 5 that are like band members that maybe go play guitar for so-and-so, or maybe they go play on this album, or Travis Barker, for example. If you really wanted to, you could make an AI that's trained off of his drums and hand his drums out to people. You can make a Travis Barker AI drum thing, and it'd be hard for him to get work, theoretically, if the AI was good enough. And I think that's kind of where my issues with AI tend to fall. Like, when I hear Timbaland use Suno, it's like, okay, this is trained off of a professional singer, and now another singer's not going to have work. Like, Timbaland doesn't need to go out and give someone money to sing on his project, because now he has this AI which is trained off of their work. Like, it's so odd to see, especially a producer, like someone who's in this industry where it wants to finesse you, it wants to not give you credit for your work, it wants to make it so that you don't make money, and he's like just backing it. Same with Kanye using it for music videos, like, and the whole thing is AI. Like, the only person he hired was probably the company to make the AI video. He probably just paid the licensing fee. But these AI companies are not paying the people they're stealing the work from. Like, there's people that pull videos from YouTube to train their AI. You're not getting a dime. There could be a Khan AI right now and make a video, and I would not get paid for it. I wouldn't even know till it's too late. There's just such an issue with, if you have AI, you're just removing aspects of the industry. You're removing aspects of artistry, aspects of like music as a whole. I think the argument for Timbaland, for Kanye, especially Timbaland, because he's said on record, like, this is just where the technology is going and we just need to take advantage of it.
And I started looking at it like, it has to be a system to this AI thing because it's not going nowhere. It's just going to be like auto-tune. When auto-tune first came out, everybody was like kind of shaky about it. Now everybody put it on their voice.
But however, I think he doesn't realize that AI is different from other technology, like the MPC, like beat pads, all these other things like synthetic software to do this. AI is different in the sense that we can take advantage of AI to a point, and then AI will just make us obsolete. Especially for Timbaland, like he's so old and his production's not really popular anymore. He's for sure getting phased out. Like it's like not a question. Like he has kind of been phased out in terms of the mainstream hip hop space. So I think especially for someone like Timbaland, for people who are not cemented in the industry currently, it will phase them out. Like that's just the natural process of what's going to happen. However, I did say all this, but I do think there are useful uses for AI. Like I think there are some positives about AI. Similar to how I said there's like software to make guitar loops, or like you can make loops, or like FL Studio has like the beat pad, you can just put beats where you want them. I think where a lot of people can benefit is something like a SoundCloud, where you can upload your music and it has AI master it for you. So beneficial. So beneficial, especially for upcoming artists who can't master their own music, who can't necessarily get that fullness. I think it can be beneficial. I think it's very, very beneficial when you can't afford to do the thing you want to do. Similar to how I can't afford to have a guitar, a piano, a drum set, so I make it in FL Studio. Similar to that, I think it's comparable to a beat machine in the sense of like this thing, like or Serato. I think Nascent talked about Serato being widely available.
I'm sure like nowadays like it's probably easier, but it also isn't because like you said, anyone can just start. So it might be a little oversaturated. But like that's just what happens when things evolve, and you can't be mad at like it being easier. It's like motherfucking DJs used to have to carry their records and shit to the club. And you mad because it's Serato? Like that's fucking crazy. Yeah, I love Serato.
But now we just have Serato Sampler, which just has, you can just put it in there and you can just sample whatever. So there are aspects of technology and AI that I think are very, very useful in the sense that accessibility increases. I think that's kind of like how the pinnacle of where I think technology and AI is positive is that pinnacle of where accessibility doesn't destroy the demand. And it's a hard, thin line. It's such a thin line because it saturates the market and people get cut by that. Like you just can't make money if the market's super saturated. It's just harder. So I think cases where AI is making things affordable to people who normally wouldn't be able to afford them. Like there are software where you can be like, hey, give me an 80s style synth and it will give you a synth.
So what you do with this is you can type in 80s synth wave and just type in a keyword and then hit enter. 80s arm, here it is. So this is loop number 1, pretty good. And you can,
and boom, it'll slap it right on there. Or I saw when I was still making music, one of the people that I work with, he had this AI software where you could hum into it. So he'd have a melody, he would be like humming and doing whatever, and then he'd be like, make that a guitar sound. And it would make it a grunge sound or whatever he wanted. It would be a guitar sound. It was super, super cool. I think that's really beneficial. Some people necessarily don't have the like physical ability to like kind of place this chord or like make this chord in FL Studio. And now you can just make an entire song just kind of using your voice and having that melody. So you still have that artistry there, and you're still putting in work that way. However, the AI is kind of filling in the gaps of where you can't. So I think that's kind of like a few examples of where I think AI is really beneficial. But again, like I think that's only for people that really don't have access. I think people like Kanye, people like Timbaland, if you're at that level, you should pay for these things. Like you should pay to put a singer on your song because one, you can. Two, you're kind of just extorting the person the AI is trained off of. And I got a problem with that, and they should too. I'm confused on like kind of why they don't as artists, especially with Kanye. Like he's been finessed so many times, he's been exploited so many times, according to him, that you would think he wouldn't exploit the music video industry or fuel the AI industry. I think it's just really interesting. But I don't want to sit here and like critique kind of how the AI industry works with artists without kind of giving my own view of how I think it could work or should work maybe. I think whatever company is trading their AI data off of, so let's say OpenAI, which is like the main big AI company, let's say they want to train their AI model off of Billie Eilish. They ask her for permission. That's how it should work. I think you should have to ask for permission and be like, hey, Billie Eilish, can I use your work? Yes or no. If she says no, okay, cool, we go to the next person. If she says yes, you should have to pay a certain royalty. It should be kind of like sampling. Like there is a publishing fee, whether that's royalties, a percentage, and no matter where your AI is dispersed, she gets a percentage of whatever your revenue is. Or like you pay her a flat rate and she sells you her likeness and then you train the AI off of that. I think that's probably how it should work. I think anytime you're sampling or licensing or using someone's voice, someone's artistry, like beat, guitar, it should work the same as sampling. You should have to pay them for that, and then they get a percentage. Because, like, you're taking their work. Like, they worked 30 years to get this voice, to get this guitar skill, and your AI is just going to learn it in, like, 30 seconds? Nah. You should have to pay for that. Especially for these big AI modeling companies. Like, you should not just be able to take somebody's work and just run with it. Like, hey, now we got Kanye in the bag. We got Frank Ocean in the bag. Like, I think that's kind of weird. Even though I think the AI isn't good enough to really replicate them or replace them, I think that's a problem. And I think for any music that has AI, I think it should be disclosed. That goes for, like, art, any fashion creator using AI. I think AI should be a label and be disclosed. Because I will be damned if someone tells me they created something and AI made it. If you tell me, oh, I made this song, and you just typed in a prompt to some AI generator, I'll be damned you lie to me like that. Like, the Todd AI made that. Like, you're not going to take credit for that, bro. Give it to the AI. I'd rather have the AI have credit and royalties over John, who just typed in a prompt. Like, I got a problem with John now. But that's how I think the AI industry should work. It's just content licensing. Kind of how we already have that structure set up. But it works for these big AI modeling companies. But I'll be curious if that happens. There have been, like, celebrities that, like, signed a petition basically saying that they didn't want AI to take their work. Nothing happened with that. I think it was like a year ago. I don't think anything happened. I don't think Congress passed anything. And I don't expect them to, because they're probably getting paid by these AI companies something fierce. And money is going to, like, do its thing. And these AI companies are going to outbid a lot of these artists. So I don't think anything's going to happen, but I hope it does. Because I think it'd just be better for the world if we just had that transparency and we had just more of a structure for how AI is being used. But that's pretty much it from me. What do you guys think down below? Please let me know down in the comments. I love hearing what you guys think. That's pretty much it for me. General channel updates. The last video went crazy, bro. Y'all went stupid. I think right now it's at like 5,000 views. It's basically just talking about like music can't make you money and talking about the music industry as a whole and kind of breaking that down. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to have it down in the description below. And yeah, y'all went crazy on that. So many comments that I got to get through. A lot of y'all liked it. So I really, really appreciate that. I really appreciate all the new subscribers that we have too. Well, welcome to the gang. I ain't got no name or nothing, but y'all are initiating the cult now. Y'all are in the cult. So I want to say thank you to everybody new here. Thank you for anybody returning. I really, really appreciate you guys. But that's about it for me. TikTok might be going down. So we won't see in a couple days if TikTok doesn't exist. So we do have 5,000 followers on there. So that'll be tough. That'll be a tough loss. But maybe we move to like the other Chinese Red Note app or something. Like, I don't know. We gonna move to a different app. We gonna see. But that's pretty much it for me. What are your guys' updates? What's happening? Please let me know in the comments below. As always, I love you guys and appreciate you guys. Peace out. Be smooth.